If you think August signals the end of the gardening season, you're leaving one of the most productive months of the year completely untapped. While many gardeners are busy pulling out tired tomato vines, harvesting the last of their summer squash, or simply waiting for autumn to arrive, experienced growers are already preparing for a second harvest. They know something that many beginners don't. August isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of another growing opportunity. In many parts of the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and other temperate regions, the warm soil, shorter days, and gradually cooling nights create ideal conditions for a wide range of vegetables. Seeds often germinate faster than they do in spring because the soil has stored months of summer heat, while cooler air reduces stress on young plants. That combination gives many crops an incredible start. Today on Savage, Harvest, and Heal, we're exploring 15 vegetables you should plant in August if you want to keep harvesting fresh food well into autumn, and in some regions even through winter. Along the way, you'll discover the best growing tips, common mistakes to avoid, and simple techniques that can dramatically improve your success. Some of these vegetables may surprise you because they're actually more productive when planted now than they are in spring. Before you assume your gardening season is over, stay with us because the vegetable that could become your favorite fall harvest is still ahead.
The first vegetable deserves far more attention than it usually gets in late summer, and that's spinach. Many gardeners struggle with spinach in spring because the weather warms too quickly, causing plants to bolt before they produce a decent harvest. August changes everything. As temperatures gradually decline, spinach grows more steadily, producing sweeter and tender leaves with far less risk of bolting. For gardeners across much of the northern United States, southern Canada, the UK, and similar climates, late August sowing often leads to abundant autumn harvests. In milder regions, spinach can continue growing through much of the winter with simple protection such as row covers or cold frames. The key is keeping the soil consistently moist during germination, since hot late summer weather can dry out the seedbed quickly. Sow seeds directly into rich, well-drained soil, spacing them carefully to encourage healthy leaf development. Unlike many vegetables, spinach appreciates the cooling temperatures that discourage pests and reduce disease pressure. One common mistake is planting in full afternoon sun during intense August heat. If your afternoons are still extremely hot, choose a location that receives morning sun and light afternoon shade until temperatures moderate. Within a few weeks, you'll begin harvesting young leaves that are sweeter and more flavorful than many spring-grown crops. The second vegetable belongs at almost every August garden, yet it's often overlooked because many people assume carrots should only be planted in spring. In reality, late summer carrots frequently outperform spring sowings. Warm soil encourages rapid germination, while cooler weeks that follow help the roots develop exceptional sweetness. As nighttime temperatures begin to drop, the plant naturally converts more of its starches into sugars, producing crisp, flavorful carrots that taste noticeably better than those grown during hot weather. Gardeners across much of the United States, southern Canada, the UK, and similar climates can still produce an excellent crop before hard frosts arrive by choosing fast or medium maturing varieties. The secret is preparing the soil properly before planting. Carrots demand loose, stone-free soil because even small rocks or compacted ground can cause roots to fork, twist, or remain stunted. Skip fresh manure, which often encourages excessive branching, and instead work in mature compost well before sowing. Keep the top layer of soil evenly moist until seedlings appear, since carrot seeds dry out very easily. Once established, thin, crowded seedlings without hesitation. It may feel wasteful, but overcrowding leads to thin, undersized roots competing for space. If you've ever harvested short, crooked carrots, overcrowding was likely one of the main reasons. Next comes one of the quickest rewards you can plant in August: radishes. If you're looking for a vegetable that delivers results almost immediately, few crops can compete. Many varieties are ready to harvest in just 3 to 5 weeks, making them perfect for filling empty spaces left behind after harvesting onions, garlic, potatoes, or early beans. Unlike spring-grown radishes that often become woody or painfully spicy during sudden heat waves, autumn radishes usually develop a milder flavor and a satisfying crunch. They're also an excellent confidence booster for new gardeners because they germinate quickly, allowing you to see progress within days. However, don't make the mistake of forgetting them after planting. Radishes mature so rapidly that waiting even an extra week beyond their ideal harvest can leave you with tough, hollow roots. Success comes from sowing small batches every 7 to 10 days instead of planting everything at once. This succession planting method gives you a continuous supply instead of one overwhelming harvest. Keep the soil consistently moist, especially during germination, because uneven watering can cause roots to split or become excessively spicy. Beyond the familiar red globe varieties, August is also an excellent time to grow longer white, purple, black, or colorful heirloom radishes that thrive in cooler conditions and bring both flavor and visual interest to your harvest basket.
While many gardeners are winding down after harvesting summer lettuce, experienced growers know August is actually one of the best times to start another crop. Leaf lettuce thrives as temperatures gradually cool, producing softer, sweeter leaves without the bitterness that often develops during the height of summer. Cooler nights slow the bolting process, allowing plants to remain productive for much longer. Whether you prefer loose leaf varieties, butterhead, romaine, or colorful salad blends, August offers another opportunity for fresh salads well into autumn. In hotter regions, providing temporary afternoon shade during the first couple of weeks can help seedlings establish without suffering heat stress. Water deeply rather than lightly sprinkling every day, encouraging roots to grow downward where moisture remains available. One technique many experienced gardeners use is harvesting only the outer leaves instead of pulling up the entire plant. This cut-and-come-again approach allows a single lettuce plant to continue producing fresh leaves for weeks, dramatically increasing your overall harvest. By combining several varieties with different colors and textures, you'll enjoy salads that are not only fresher than anything from the supermarket, but also far more attractive and nutritious. The fifth vegetable has earned its reputation as one of the toughest and most dependable crops for late-season gardens, and that's kale. If you've only grown kale during the heat of early summer and wondered why the leaves became tough or slightly bitter, August gives you another chance to see what this vegetable is truly capable of. As temperatures begin to fall, kale undergoes a remarkable transformation. Cool weather encourages the plant to produce sweeter, more tender leaves with improved texture and flavor. In fact, many gardeners deliberately wait until after the first light frost before harvesting because the leaves often become even sweeter. Kale also tolerates temperatures that would quickly damage many other vegetables, making it one of the longest producing crops in the garden. Plant it in fertile, well-drained soil with plenty of organic matter and avoid overcrowding by giving each plant enough space to develop its impressive canopy. Consistent moisture is essential during establishment, but once mature, kale becomes surprisingly resilient. Don't make the mistake of harvesting from the top of the plant first. Always remove the oldest leaves from the bottom while leaving the growing center untouched. This simple technique keeps plants producing fresh leaves for months instead of just a few weeks. If cabbage worms are common in your area, inspect the undersides of leaves regularly before they become a serious problem. Healthy kale plants can continue rewarding you well into late autumn and, in many mild climates, throughout much of the winter. Closely following kale is another cool season superstar that often receives less attention than it deserves: Swiss chard. Many gardeners discover its colorful stems first, but its greatest strength is its incredible ability to keep producing long after other leafy vegetables have slowed down. August planting allows Swiss chard to establish while the soil is still warm, then flourish as cooler weather arrives. Unlike spinach, which eventually slows as temperatures become very cold, Swiss chard often continues producing harvest after harvest with very little maintenance. One of its greatest advantages is resilience. It handles occasional warm spells better than many leafy greens while still thriving in autumn conditions. Whether you choose bright rainbow varieties or classic white-stemmed types, you'll have a vegetable that is both ornamental and highly productive.
Harvest only the outer stalks when they reach a usable size, allowing the center of the plant to keep generating fresh growth. Rich soil and regular watering encourage thick, succulent stems, while a light application of compost around the base helps maintain steady production without excessive leafy growth. If you're gardening in containers, Swiss chard performs exceptionally well in deep pots with good drainage, making it an excellent choice for patios, balconies, and smaller gardens where space is limited.
The seventh vegetable surprises many gardeners because they assume it belongs only in spring, yet beets are often even better when planted in August. Warm soil speeds up germination, while cooling weather allows the roots to develop slowly without becoming woody or fibrous. The result is sweeter, smoother beets with rich color and outstanding flavor. Even better, you're harvesting two crops from one plant. The roots are excellent for roasting, pickling, or storing, while the young leaves are packed with nutrients and can be enjoyed fresh in salads or cooked like spinach. Before sowing, loosen the soil deeply to encourage uniform root development and avoid excessive nitrogen fertilizer, which promotes leafy growth at the expense of root size. Many beginners become disappointed when several seedlings emerge from what appeared to be a single seed. That's completely normal because each beet seed is actually a cluster containing multiple embryos. Thin them carefully once they develop their first true leaves, leaving enough room for each root to expand properly. Keep moisture consistent throughout the growing period because uneven watering can cause roots to crack or become tough. By the time autumn arrives, you'll have beautifully colored beets with exceptional flavor that often store for months under the right conditions, making them one of the most rewarding vegetables for extending your harvest season.
The eighth vegetable is one that rewards patience with one of the most nutritious harvests you can grow, and that's broccoli. Many gardeners who struggle with broccoli in spring find much greater success with an August planting. The reason is simple. Broccoli dislikes prolonged heat, especially while forming its central head. When planted in late summer, the plant develops its leaves while the soil is still warm, then begins producing heads as cooler autumn weather arrives. This often results in tighter, denser crowns with far better flavor. If your region has a long enough growing season before severe frost, broccoli can become one of the highlights of your autumn garden. Give each plant plenty of room because healthy broccoli develops a wide spread of leaves that fuel head formation. Rich soil containing plenty of compost and steady moisture are essential, especially during head development. Don't let the soil repeatedly dry out, as inconsistent watering can reduce head quality. Here's a tip many beginners miss. Don't pull the plant out after harvesting the main head. Instead, leave it growing. Many broccoli varieties produce numerous smaller side shoots for weeks afterward, extending your harvest far beyond that first large crown. With proper care, one plant can provide multiple harvests instead of just one. Closely related to broccoli is another cool season favorite that deserves a place in every August garden: cauliflower. Although it's often considered a challenging vegetable, much of that reputation comes from trying to grow it during unsuitable weather. Cauliflower performs best when temperatures remain cool and stable while the heads develop, making late summer planting an excellent strategy in many parts of the United States, Canada, the UK, and similar climates. The secret lies in consistency. This plant dislikes sudden changes in moisture or nutrition. Prepare fertile soil enriched with compost before planting. Water deeply and regularly, and avoid allowing plants to experience drought stress. As the white head begins forming, some traditional varieties benefit from a technique called blanching, where the outer leaves are gently tied over the developing head to shield it from direct sunlight. This helps maintain its creamy white color and prevents bitterness. Newer self-blanching varieties naturally fold their leaves over the head, reducing the work required. Don't be discouraged if your first attempt isn't perfect. Even experienced gardeners refine their cauliflower growing skills over time, and an August crop often gives you much better odds than a spring planting.
If you're looking for a vegetable that practically grows itself once established, turnips deserve serious consideration. Modern turnips are nothing like the bland, oversized roots many people remember. When grown during the cool conditions of autumn, they become tender, mildly sweet, and incredibly versatile in the kitchen. Better still, you can harvest both the nutritious leafy tops and the roots, making every plant doubly productive. Turnips germinate quickly in warm August soil and mature rapidly enough to fit comfortably into many growing seasons before winter arrives. Loose, fertile soil encourages smooth root development, while steady watering prevents woody texture. Many gardeners overlook succession planting with turnips, but sowing a fresh row every 2 weeks can provide continuous harvests throughout autumn. Small roots generally offer the best eating quality, so don't leave them in the ground too long, hoping they'll become enormous. Harvested young, they roast beautifully, add sweetness to soups and stews, and their fresh greens rival many leafy vegetables for nutrition. It's a crop that asks for very little, but gives back generously.
The 11th vegetable has quietly become one of the most popular choices for extending the gardening season, and that's bok choy, also known as pak choy. Unlike many leafy vegetables that struggle through midsummer, bok choy absolutely thrives as temperatures begin to cool. It grows quickly, often reaching harvest size in little more than a month, making it ideal for gardeners hoping to maximize every remaining week of the growing season. Whether you're growing full-sized heads or smaller baby varieties, August planting usually results in crisp stems and tender leaves with excellent flavor. Rich soil, regular watering, and protection from flea beetles during the seedling stage are often all that's needed for success. One of the biggest mistakes gardeners make is allowing mature plants to remain in the garden too long. Harvest them while they're still firm and compact, before they begin stretching upward. You can also harvest individual outer leaves while allowing the center to continue growing, giving you an extended picking period. With its rapid growth, impressive nutritional value, and versatility in the kitchen, bok choy proves that some of the fastest-growing vegetables can also be among the most rewarding.
The 12th vegetable has been feeding families for generations, yet many gardeners forget that cabbage often performs far better when planted for autumn than for summer. August gives cabbage exactly what it needs: warm soil for rapid root establishment, followed by steadily cooler temperatures that encourage firm, compact heads. Instead of battling intense summer heat that can slow development or invite pest problems, autumn-grown cabbage matures under conditions it naturally prefers. Whether you enjoy green, red, or Savoy varieties, choosing one that matches the number of frost-free days remaining in your region is essential. Fast-maturing cultivars are ideal for shorter Canadian growing seasons, while gardeners in the southern United States and milder parts of the UK can often grow larger varieties well into late autumn. Feed the soil generously with compost before planting, because cabbage is a heavy feeder, and maintain consistent moisture throughout the season. Uneven watering can cause heads to split just as they reach maturity. Watch carefully for cabbage worms and caterpillars, especially on the undersides of leaves where eggs are often hidden. Catching them early is much easier than dealing with severe damage later. Harvest when the heads feel firm and solid, and you'll be rewarded with crisp, flavorful cabbage that's perfect for slaws, soups, stir-fries, and long-term storage. The 13th vegetable is one many gardeners have never tried, but once they do, it often becomes a permanent part of the autumn garden. Asian mustard greens are among the fastest-growing leafy vegetables you can sow in August. Varieties such as Mizuna, Kometsuna, tatsoi, and giant red mustard thrive in the cooling temperatures of late summer and early autumn, producing lush harvests packed with vitamins and minerals. Each variety offers a different flavor profile, from mild and slightly sweet to pleasantly peppery. Unlike many traditional salad greens that struggle as temperatures fluctuate, these hardy vegetables continue producing even after light frosts arrive. Their rapid growth make them ideal for filling empty spaces left after harvesting potatoes, onions, or early beans.
Harvest the outer leaves regularly rather than removing the whole plant, and you'll encourage continuous fresh growth for weeks. If flea beetles are common in your area, lightweight insect netting during the seedling stage can make a tremendous difference. These greens are excellent fresh in salads, lightly sautéed, added to soups, or mixed into stir-fries, giving you remarkable versatility from a crop that asks for very little attention.
Our 14th vegetable is one that many gardeners underestimate because they focus only on its roots. Spring onions, also called green onions or scallions, are one of the easiest and most reliable crops you can plant in August. Their quick growth, minimal maintenance, and tolerance of cooler weather make them perfect for extending the harvest season. Unlike large storage onions that require a much longer growing period, spring onions mature relatively quickly and can even be harvested at different stages depending on how you plan to use them. Sow seeds in shallow drills or plant sets if they're available in your region. Their narrow growth habit means they fit beautifully between slower growing vegetables, making excellent use of every bit of garden space. Consistent moisture during establishment encourages strong root systems, while well-drained soil helps prevent rot during wet autumn weather. Rather than harvesting every plant at once, pull only what you need for cooking and allow the rest to continue developing. Their mild flavor make them indispensable in salads, omelets, soups, roasted dishes, and countless everyday recipes. Even gardeners with limited space can grow an impressive supply in containers or raised beds.
The 15th and final vegetable is perhaps the most underrated crop you can sow in August, and that's peas, provided your growing season allows enough time before hard freezes arrive. Most people associate peas with spring, but in many northern regions and milder coastal climates, a late summer planting can produce one final harvest before winter. The cooling temperatures of early autumn create exactly the conditions peas love. They dislike excessive summer heat, but flourish once the worst of it has passed. Choose fast-maturing varieties, install a simple trellis before planting, and keep the soil consistently moist while seeds germinate. One of the greatest advantages of peas is that through their partnership with beneficial soil bacteria, they help capture nitrogen from the atmosphere, leaving the soil in better condition for future crops. Harvest pods frequently because regular picking encourages plants to continue flowering and producing. Waiting too long allows pods to become tough and signals the plant to slow production. Whether you grow crisp snap peas, tender snow peas, or classic shelling peas, a successful August sowing can provide one last taste of spring before winter finally arrives. By now, one thing should be clear. August is far from the end of the gardening season. In many ways, it's one of the smartest times to plant. The soil is warm, many destructive summer pests begin declining, cooler nights reduce stress on young plants, and a surprising number of vegetables actually produce better flavor in autumn than they ever do in spring. The gardeners who continue harvesting baskets of fresh vegetables long after everyone else has packed away their tools aren't relying on luck. They're taking advantage of this overlooked planting window. Even if you only have room for a few containers, a raised bed, or a small backyard, there's still time to grow another rewarding crop before the season changes. Before you head outside with your seeds, tell us in the comments which of these 15 vegetables you're planting this August, and let everyone know which growing zone you're gardening in. Your experience could help another gardener choose the perfect crop for their own climate. If you found this guide helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Savage Harvest and Heal, and turn on notifications so you never miss practical, research-backed gardening advice designed to help you grow healthier plants, harvest more food, and make every season in the garden count. Happy planting, and we'll see you in the next harvest.